Credit card debt is a looming problem in the United States. Creditcard.com says that Americans' revolving debt, the bulk of which was credit card balances, was $975.9 billion by the end of 2020. According to the Federal Reserve Survey on Consumer Finances, the average American has $6,270 of credit card debt. This information gets especially interesting when broken up by age. CNBC.com reports that the average Gen Xer, Americans between 41 and 56 years old, have the most credit card debt at $7,718. Millennials do a little bit better with an average credit card debt of $4,651. Some of us may look at our responsibilities like work, family, mortgages, etc. and think that they're in too much debt to get out of. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. You can get out of debt if you have a plan. We're here to tackle your pain points surrounding your debts one by one to help you come up with creative ways to eliminate them, so watch this video to the end. So without further ado, here's how to get out of credit card debt in 5 steps. Step 1. Create a budget. A monthly budget is a financial planning tool that helps you schedule how much money you will spend or save each month. Making a budget might not sound like the most enjoyable thing, but it's an essential part of keeping your financial house in order. This is because your budgets depend on you being honest and impartial about your finances. Spending less in one region allows you to spend more in another, save for a big purchase, create an emergency fund, raise your savings, or invest in wealth creation. A budget is only successful if you are truthful about your income and spending. This isn't time to live in fairy tale land about your income or your spending habits and the way things should be. We'll get to the way your budget should be by the end. To start, you must be able to work with credible and accurate details about your earning and spending patterns in order to create an efficient budget. Step 2. Build an emergency fund. An emergency fund is a bank account that contains money set aside to cover major unforeseen expenses. These can be things like sudden medical treatments, repair or removal of expensive household appliances, major auto repairs, or losing one's job. The emergency fund is important because it prevents you from having to use a credit card when an unexpected cost arises. According to one survey, 40% of Americans cannot afford a $400 unexpected bill without using a credit card. Creating an emergency fund is a crucial step. This is the step that keeps you from using your credit card as a backup plan for the unexpected. An emergency fund serves as a barrier between you and the unexpected. When it comes to emergency funds, bigger is better, but you should start with at least $1,000. Step 3. Choose a debt payoff strategy. If you really want to get rid of your credit card debt, try using one of these 4 strategies to become debt-free more quickly. Having a clear repayment goal and strategy in place will help you stay on track with your credit card debt. Automate. Automating your payments is a simple way to ensure that your debts are paid on time and to avoid incurring extra costs and late fees. If you use either of the next 2 strategies, the debt snowball or the debt avalanche, you need to be a little more hands-on to ensure that you're adding exactly what you want to each account. Debt avalanche. You've almost certainly heard of the debt snowball. However, very few people are familiar with the debt avalanche. The debt avalanche is a debt snowball's more intelligent but less charismatic sibling. In the debt avalanche, you take the priorities of the debt snowball and invert them. You pay off the card with the highest interest rate first rather than the one with the lowest balance. It's usually quicker and less expensive to process than snowballing. However, it's less inspiring as you're not likely to see it working. The debt snowball. The debt snowball is a form of debt repayment that relies on your sense of achievement as inspiration. You prioritize your loans based on their size, beginning with the smallest. When you pay off the loan, you roll the payment into the amount you contribute to the next smallest loan, and so on. You'll progressively make larger and larger payments, like rolling a snowball downhill, eventually eliminating your debt. Pay more than the minimum. Credit card companies provide you with a handy monthly minimum charge, usually 2 to 3% of the balance, to ensure that you're making timely payments. However, this is not done to help you. Lending institutions make money from the interest they charge each pay cycle, so the longer you take to pay, the more money they make. If I can interrupt briefly, if this video is giving you value, write debt payoff plan in the comment section. I'll do my best to reply to every comment I get. Step 4. Work with your creditors. Contact your creditors and describe your financial situation. If you're a long-term customer with a clear payment history, the credit card company might be able to negotiate payment rates or offer you a hardship program. If you have fees on your accounts that are driving up your balance, don't be afraid to ask for a few fees to be waived. When it comes to getting out of debt, every penny counts. While some customer service representatives may be unwilling or unable to assist you, others might. Be prepared to ask to speak with a manager if the customer service representative is unable to resolve your matter satisfactorily. If your lending institution has a hardship policy, it can provide relief when conditions outside of your control, such as unemployment or sickness, make it difficult to handle payments. If you negotiate with your lender or accept the terms of a hardship program, depending on the issuer, either choice may result in lower interest rates or waived fees. Step 5. Debt consolidation versus side hustling. The fifth and final step offers you two options. Debt consolidation. If your credit is decent but your debt payments are too much for you, consider consolidating them into a single account. This way, you only have to make one payment per month to reduce the balance. 0% balance transfer credit card. It can sound outright laughable to apply for a credit card when you're trying to get out of credit card debt, but 0% balance transfer cards can help you save money by allowing you to not pay interest on your debts for a fixed period of time. Find a card with a long 0% preliminary period, ideally 15 to 18 months, and consolidate all of your outstanding credit card debt into that single account. You'll only have to make one payment per month and you won't have to pay interest. Though I've used this method in the past, I'm not necessarily a fan of this method. The reason is that most people don't understand that the credit card industry doesn't offer terms like 0% interest for 15 months to help debtors. They do it to tempt you to move in your balance to their card so they can increase the interest rate when the 0% period is over. There are a few things that can happen to you if you accept the 0% balance transfer interest rate. With a deferred interest offer, if you happen to get caught with a balance after the introductory rate is over, you'll owe interest on the full amount of the balance transfer. Also, if you're late with a payment, have your check returned, or reach your credit limit, your introductory rate can expire prematurely. If any of these circumstances occur, the credit card's APR will be increased to the penalty rate at a very high rate, possibly as much as 29.99%. Personal loans. Another option to pay off your debt is to take out a fixed rate debt consolidation loan. This shouldn't be too hard if your credit is good. Even though you'll have to pay interest, your personal loan interest rates are typically lower than credit card interest rates, which can help you save money. I've done this also. And while it's a lot safer than a 0% balance transfer credit card, I wouldn't really rely on it, especially if your credit isn't in good shape. Side hustling. I would strongly urge you to consider including side hustling into your debt payoff plan. A side hustle is a way to earn money in addition to your normal job or starting your own business. Side hustles allow you to supplement your income while giving you the independence and flexibility to be your own boss and follow your passions. Side hustles are especially popular with millennials. According to Bankrate.com, 1 in every 4 millennials is working on their own with a side hustle to supplement their income. Millennials seem to earn an average of $500 or more per month as a result of their efforts. In my opinion, your best bet for step 5 is to start a side hustle in order to raise more money to pay off your debts. If your credit is good and your credit card's APR is high, you might also take out a personal loan on top of side hustling. The lower APR on a personal loan will allow you to maximize your debt repayment by paying less interest. According to Experian, the average APR on a personal loan is 9.41%. Meanwhile, the average interest rate on a credit card is 16.15%. Whatever you decide to do, the best thing for you to do is to begin. Understand that having credit card debt is nothing to be ashamed of. However, not taking action against it is. You're not in too much debt to see your way out. And now that you've watched this video, you have a clear path toward debt freedom. These methods work, but nothing works unless you do. Guys, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.